Follow Reggae Radio, follow reggae.com, TGM Radio. Special guest in the house tonight, Ras Takura. He's a friend to the room. Get familiar. You can go to our YouTube page and check out the interview that we did last year with him. We have him back in the studio once again. The last time you were here, the Food War Project was about to touch the road. You were on the road promoting it. You're back again in full swing. The project is out. You heard a couple tracks off of the album. We're gonna get a little bit more into it. But once again, introduce yourself, Ras Takura.
Me plant heirloom seeds in the earth, and the ganja plant start to grow. Ganja maker, ganja planter, Ras Takura, ganja maker. Me plant heirloom seeds in the earth, and the ganja plant start to grow. Ganja maker, ganja planter, Ras Takura, ganja maker. Me plant heirloom seeds in the earth, and the ganja plant start to grow. So me say, seeds exchange from gate to gate, parish to parish and state to state, join the pollination for safe foods direction in a time of plastic foods invasion. Save seeds and keep the strain alive. Jamaica is known for a variety of natives. I am Jamaica Indigenous Heirloom Seeds Exchange Movement. I am the heritage of the heirloom strain. To preserve me, man will live again. Because a seed that has been genetically modified actually loses its ability to reproduce. So each time the farmer wants a new stack of seeds, he must to return to that source to purchase new seeds. When traditionally a plant is supposed to produce food and seeds, and you eat the food and save the seeds for replanting of the next crop. But what is happening now when you purchase seeds in the seed stores is that majority of the seeds are GMO, are contaminated with some form of genetic modification. Then through cross-pollination, which is the natural means by which plants carry out sexual reproduction, you have the natural, vital, organic species of the earth become contaminated and bastardized. So, make we plant heirloom seeds in the earth and make the ganja continue grow. Make we plant heirloom seeds in the earth, light up the fire and burn GMO. Seeds exchange is ancient African tradition. Seeds exchange is from day one, as agriculture is man's first occupation. Just as him start to think say him want food for yam, but now to exchange seeds in certain countries is an illegal weapon. So Jamaica, make we practice this seeds exchange in every district. Stop give the children them cheese tricks. Avoid the use of modified cannabis. Eat more greens. Sit no dead. Ital vegetation. The Rastaman meds. Make it habitual. Every time you eat a fruit, you save a seed. Power of reggae. This is Ras Takura, straight out of Jamaica, New York City. But there again, Rastafari.
That right there. That right there was hands down. That right there, hands down, was the best artist intro that we've had on this radio show thus far. I'd like to talk about what you just said, but being a user of the cannabis plant, I'll start with one question in regards to your introduction. Genetically modified marijuana. Can we start there, and can you educate the listeners tonight of what is genetically modified marijuana, how you can pinpoint where and what it is and try to avoid it?
Blessed and give thanks, see?
Bless.
I I grew up in a farming community in Jamaica, St. Ann, you know, like probably an hour and a half drive from 9 miles, the home, birthplace of Bob Marley. See, I grew up in a local community, York District, you know, Benson, Concord, you know, and all these districts now, we grew up in this area where everybody in my community practice some form of agriculture. Naturally, you know, it's like, it's something you do. It's like, you cannot escape being a farmer or having natural knowledge of agriculture when you grow up in this community. See, so marijuana is a natural plant where it just grows. See, it unavoidable grow. You plant a lot of other things and marijuana just grow, you know. So I like growing up know marijuana or ganja just as a natural normal plant. See, even with the system having a law against marijuana, we still as youth know that ganja is just like any normal plant. It's just like cabbage, it's just like callaloo, it's just like ackee, it is just like coffee. You know, any normal plant, that's how we grew up knowing marijuana. However, when I was a youth and growing up in York, you know, we have the experience of seeing the organized system, which is from the government, the soldiers, the armies, the police coming through and destroying the marijuana, you know, burning it up, killing it, and, you know, all these things. We have these personal experiences, right? We grew up in those communities, right? However, in those days, see, a marijuana plant was like as tall as I am. See, you would never have another, you would never have a mature marijuana plant which is as short as a knee, right? When a marijuana plant mature, when it comes to maturity, it catches at the shoulder taller than you, right? That is how we know the marijuana to be in those days. And I'm talking about some 25 years ago, seeing them type of time I'm talking about, some 25 years ago. You know, grew up in those areas and we have those experiences because everybody in my community that I know, if them don't directly plant marijuana, them associate with somebody that planted. See, so it's like we have that experience of knowing what natural agriculture is. However, through the passage of time, after studying Haile Selassie, and Haile Selassie say, a country and a people that become self-sufficient through the development of agriculture can look forward to the future with confidence. When I hear Haile Selassie I say that now, I feel like it's I personally he was talking to. See, so I start to pursue studies in agriculture and find myself at the Nakalva Agricultural School in Hanover. See, so we now take the agriculture now to a scientific level now, where we start to pursue studies in agriculture on a scientific level, and then we go on to the College of Agriculture, Science and Education in Jamaica. See, so we kind of have in the field then, in the street, growing of marijuana, knowing, and then we go check the scientific level of what is happening, see? And then we start to read, debate, communicate outside the box, because you know, when you're on a college campus, it's like a whole heap of you would have enough different things to say, and enough different, you know, enough different ideas coming up and stuff like that. So we get introduced to GMO, genetically modified organism, see? And GMO means that you move the genes from one species and introduce it to a separate species, right? And these genes moving or transferring is normally done for a lot of different reasons. But one of the main reasons is always experiment, and man want to do something different from the next man, you know, and the fact that man feel like they're in control, or yeah, man is in control of a lot of things, so man feel like them can alter the genes of plants. See, a man can alter the genes of plants, and a man can actually make a plant do what he wants the plant to do, right? So in the case of marijuana, because the reality is that marijuana is really the king of the forest. And the reason why they have been crucifying marijuana is because they want to crucify a lot of other plants. Because the reality is that is what they do even with people, right? They kill the leader, right? So the followers them stop carry out the mission that they're supposed to carry out. So they have been crucifying marijuana for a long time. So a lot of other plants in the forest don't get explored, you know? Because marijuana is being...
Let me ask you a question. Let me stop you for 1 minute. A lot of knowledge, a lot of education. But let me ask you a question. Why do you say marijuana is the king of the forest, or the leader of the crops, the plants?
Why marijuana being the king of the forest is because of the amount of uses that this one plant possesses. See, the amount of uses that this one plant possesses, that a lot of other trees or a lot of other plant species would take a lot of years to possess certain things that this plant would take a natural 9 months to produce, right? So it makes the king, because marijuana is food, is clothes, right? It can make things like rope. No, there are thousands of things that is being made now currently from marijuana. See, and not to mention the spiritual uses of marijuana, which cannot be measured by any modern material that they use to measure things. You know, when a thing is coming spiritual or enhanced spirituality, there is nothing that you can use to measure it. Then you would have to go use something now to measure Bob Marley and measure Peter Tosh. See, and you really cannot find anything modern now to measure that inspiration that marijuana produced to these people that made them become who them is. But I really want to answer the question about GMO marijuana. See? Because even Monsanto, you know, everyone knows that Monsanto is the kingpin of the GMO, right? But what is happening now? What happened now is that recently Monsanto released a statement that they have released their first strain of genetically modified marijuana, and they released it just in time when the world, meaning America, and some other people was thinking about putting some freedom on marijuana, right? Putting some regulations. Okay, you can set up a marijuana store and you can pay some tax, and marijuana can become legal now to that purpose, but not for what the Rastaman was using it for and what the Rastaman have been agitating for over the years. So because they can earn some money now, okay, they're going to make it legal. And Monsanto come out and say, okay, we are releasing our first marijuana, our first modified marijuana strain. But we know that Monsantos and these guys, they are liars. And they are not truthful to the people. And they would not be, knowing that marijuana is a kingpin, marijuana is the king of the forest. Monsanto would not be releasing their first strain in 2017. See? Believe it. See, they would not be doing that. Right?
Let me ask you a question. I don't know if you have actually had a chance to smoke what they call medicinal marijuana.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah.
So now the medicinal marijuana is the one that they're giving you from, it is supposedly the legal sources in the state, within the state. And I smoke the medicinal marijuana.
Yeah, I smoke it too.
And it smoked different to me.
Yeah, it does smoke different, it smells different, and it have a lot of different characteristics, see, from the natural marijuana. And the reality is, based upon I and I definition of medicine, the marijuana that take 9 months to grow, that is grown from the heirloom seeds, those are the medicinal marijuana. This one that we've been seeing now are being marketed as medicinal marijuana. It is not really medicinal marijuana. They are just trying to use that terminology now to kind of, you know, create a blockage in the mind of the people, you know. But it in reality, look at this. If a plant is supposed to take 9 months to grow and come to maturity in its natural life cycle, right? And you do something to the plant, you modify the plant and make the plant start to come in six weeks, right? 2 months, 3 months, and even less, right? Alright, when you modify the plant and shorten the time that the plant is supposed to spend in the earth, from seed to food to seed again, right? When you modify the plant, shorten the date of the plant, what it does, it spends less time in the earth. That means it gets less of all these things that it would always get to produce a total life cycle, right? And in losing all those things that it should normally gather for that total life cycle, then it loses its medicinal values, right? And when it loses its medicinal values, when I said let your food be a medicine and your medicine be a food, and you turn into these plants now to be your medicine, these plants going to fail, right? These plants going to fail to be a medicine. And if the plants fail to become your medicine, we're going to be a dying nation, because the herb is for the use of man, the herb is for the healing of man. And if modification of the herbs reduce the use of the herb and the potency of the herb, that means we are moving backward in terms of what modification is doing. It is not enhancing the lifestyle or what we want. It is not enhancing, it is moving back, right? And we know that when a seed is being genetically modified, right, it has the ability to contaminate and pollute other plants in the environment, because plants carry out sexual reproduction through three main ways. Three main ways plants carry out sexual reproduction. It's either through wind pollination, bird pollination, or man pollination. That means to say, if one of these three means, the seeds have to be carried from one farm to the next, right? So if we are open to contamination, that means we're going to reduce the quantity of heirloom strain that we have present. And that's the reason why Ras Takura is on a mission and stresses the point that we need to practice the exchanging of natural, vital, organic seeds, right? And I know that I still don't answer the question yet about the modified marijuana, and I'm still going to it because there's a lot to it, and I don't want to just say something and don't give the background information in what I'm talking about, because I want the listeners to understand, because this is the power of reggae. See, we're on the power of reggae radio station, and we have to make the people them know that what we are talking about, we are informed about what we are talking about. See, so in the thing now about the modification now of marijuana, yes, I believe that there's a lot of marijuana that is circulating, that is being modified, right? I don't know the level of modification, right? I don't know the type of modification, but based upon the current life cycle of these herbs that I'm seeing now, see, the current life cycle meaning that they come to maturity within 2 months and less than 2 months, then they are modified, right? The type of modification now is something different now for me to question, right? And then now that would bring a debate now between me and the person who do the modification, right? Because looking at a seed, there's no way you can look at a seed and tell whether a seed is modified or not, right? It's the person that breeds the seed, or is the carrier or the storer of the seed, is the only person that have the true data to know whether a seed has been genetically modified or not. But what we can do to know if a seed has been genetically modified or not is through planting the seed. Because what happens is that when a seed has been genetically modified, it only gives you one true crop, right? So if you have a stack of seeds which give you three consecutive crops, then you know that these seeds are heirloom and they are non-genetically modified. And 3 consecutive crops mean you plant 1 crop and you reap, and from that stock you plant again and you reap number 2 generation, and then you plant again and you reap number 3 generation. Then you would know that from that number 3 generation you have a stock of heirloom seeds.
Okay. Now, one last question before we go. We're going to get back into the music, and we're going to come back because I have some more questions about the GMO the products that we see now. One last question. The wheat that we see now, we see a lot of cross-pollination in the wheat.
In the weed?
Yes.
You mean the herb, the ganja?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Do you consider the cross-pollination or the mixture of strains of wheat genetically modifying the product as well?
Well, yes, no. And yes, no meaning that if the herb has been growing within an environment that there is no genetically modified herbs in that surrounding, it's okay for it's the natural pollination that is taking place. It's okay, right? Because you have heirloom seeds exchanging pollination against heirloom seeds. But where the problem comes now is when you have a man who is here now practicing natural organic farming, and you have a farm beside him who is genetically modified, and you have the cross pollination by the birds taking the pollen from one field to the next, right? You have the cross pollination, then you have the man who is trying to grow organic heirloom herbs become contaminated by the genetically modified.
Let me stop you for 1 minute. I got a chance to go to California and actually visit some fields.
Yeah.
And what I noticed was they actually split the stalk and put another plant within it.
Right.
And crossbreed the plant in that way.
Okay. All right. That is known as that technology is a type of grafting or cuttings. See, that is not genetically modified.
Okay.
See, right. That is not. It's a form of hybrid. It's a form of hybridization. See, but it's not genetically modified, because when I say genetically modified, it means you deal with genes transfer. You move a genes, you know. So these are cuttings. So you know what happens now is that there are certain plants, including sorrel and certain other plants, who have that type of characteristics. You can grow them from cuttings. You can grow them from a leaf. You know, each leaf have the ability to produce an entire plant. See, so once you can cut the leaf below a node, cut the leaf below a node, right? Then where the node is formed, right? The same place that the node is formed have the ability to grow roots, right? So it is not genetically modified, but the form of hybridization, which I would consider very healthy for consumption.
Okay. That's what I was looking for right there, so I know what I'm smoking is good.
Right.
Okay. Before we go into the music, the conversation is healthy right now, the lifestyle is healthy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue the conversation. Another thing that you mentioned earlier, the plastic food.
Right.
That's a whole nother conversation right there. But since we did the last interview, I've noticed the rise in different products that are considered plastic. And I want you to give us a little feedback into that, because I know we have the right person in the studio right now to give us the knowledge about it. So the rise of the plastic products, that's what we're going to get into when we come back. We're going to get into some more music off of the Food War Project, and then we're going to come back and you're going to give us a little background about what's going on with the food products that are considered plastic right now.
Alright, brother.
Once again, Ras Takura in the studio, PowerReggae.com, Power Reggae Radio, TGM Radio. A little bit more music off of the Food War Project. Get familiar with it. Power Reggae Radio, PowerReggae.com, TGM Radio, we back. Look, a little bit more music off of the Food War Project. Ras Takura is here in the studio with us. Let's talk about the project before we get back into the food discussion. The project is available now on iTunes or retail digital distributors. On the break, we were having our little conversation, and you told me you have some visuals upcoming that you're working on for the project.
Yeah.
What are the visuals that we can look forward to coming forth on the food war project?
Well, the poem, the science of agriculture that feature Muta Baruka, see, that video is currently under construction now. We have a few shots more to make and thing, and then now can finish and have the video edited and ready for the streaming, you know. So the food war video is also in the process of making too, you know. All the clips them already shot already too, and just in the making of edition and stuff like that, you know. So those two tracks mainly right now in terms of visual, you know. But the focus is on the album, the planting that I just heard. It is the poem that we currently also promoting from the album, you know. So, you know, and management and things also thinking about a video. So
a lot to look forward to.
Huh?
A lot to look forward to
Yeah.
on the Food War project. Once again, it's available on iTunes, Ras Takura, Food War, all digital distributors as well. Currently, you're on tour with the project as well.
Right.
Upcoming shows. Where can the listeners look forward to seeing Ras Takura live?
Well, we have one show coming up in Arizona this Saturday. Seeing we're going to do an opening performance with Israel Vibration, seeing in Arizona, seeing Phoenix, Arizona. So we look forward to that. Seeing after that we don't really have no more show. Seeing, but we're coming at the place the other day because we have a small tour in Vancouver, Canada. Seeing, and then we come and do a show in LA, and we leave LA and do a show now in Nebraska, Omaha, Nebraska. Seeing at the home of Malcolm X. See, so we did that show, which is the Malcolm X Soul Food Festival. See, and then we come New York the other day now and do the return of Ras Takura to New York City, Volume 3, dubbing down Brooklyn with Ras Passagefu, Ras Atiba, and the world dub poets link up in New York and things. So
nice.
That was the vibe. So we just leaving out now with that thing in Arizona, and that's it. No, as a matter of fact, the other night I did also a performance at the lounge at Rebel Salute, seeing at the Milk River.
Milk River.
Shout out
to
nice
Milk River.
vibration, you know. So it's just some focus where put the people in mind now to the whole food war album, you know, and let them know that they can get it. And as I said, the musical platforms, they can go on and get the food war album. Whether it's iTunes, Amazon, you know, YouTube, wherever, you know. And we're also available on the Instagram and the Facebook and everything there.
Ras Takura.
You know.
Okay. Now we also got some more music from the project before we tune out, but I want to get back into the food conversation. I want to get to the plastic products.
All right.
So before we tune out, the last time you were here, you spoke about the plastic products, but it did not take prevalence. Since then, I've turned on my television, I've looked on my iPhone, I've seen plastic rice, plastic lettuce, a bunch of stuff. Tell us exactly what's going on with these products that people may hear the reference to plastic rice and think it's a joke, but it's something serious. Give us a little bit of background into what's going on now with the basic food supply that we have and what we should be looking out for.
All right. They say what happened with the basic food supply that we have is that man or human being have turned away from the land, turned away from agriculture a certain way, seeing and more focus on things that is not real. Seeing, and then now you have a lot of people now who want to capitalize on the ignorance of the people. Seeing, so plastic food is one of those things now that them is coming with, which is a new thing. It's coming that they're going to use now to captivate the people who is not into real food or real things, right? Because they know that what sells in the market space is really brand, right? Brand and image, right? So if you have a brand of food that have a tradition of presenting certain food, if you get plastic food within that same brand and they look the same way, you will not know, right? And those people are there to capitalize on the ignorance of the people. And the reality about the plastic food, the same information that you get, is the same information I get, where I see it on YouTube and stuff like that, where they're actually making the plastic rice. You know, you see, it's happening in China, or some Chinese people doing it, because that is how Chinese people stay still. Because when I check it out, a lot of I culture, them use it certain way and sell it back to you in a different farm. Because even the red, green and gold, a lot of the red, green and gold that you see out there now, see, is China take it and make it for them way and sell it back cheap. So the man who used to do crochet and stuff like that now and make the authentic red, green and gold material, he can't sell it. Because China man can make film and sell it for $5. And the man who sit down and knit a tam, man can't sell it for $5. So, you know, so and the same thing is happening with the food. See, because they have the means to pollute the supermarket and the food stores with plastic food. So the authentic food that is grown on the farm in places like Jamaica and other places that grow food, those food go to waste because they don't get a space in the market space, right? That's a reality. And also, what happens now is that a lot of these places that are producers of food, they get subsidized for their agriculture. Countries like Jamaica don't get subsidized for agriculture. See, when I say subsidized, what I mean is that when a country like America, when a farmer in America will grow certain crops, see, it's going to farm, and they consult with their Ministry of Agriculture, and they say, okay, whenever time the crop comes, you will be getting $10 per pound for this crop. If 6 months when the crop comes to maturity, and there's a glut on the market, and the price of the product might go to like $5, what the government do, they purchase these things from these farmers, see, so they ensure that the farmer is earning a standard of living. Places like Jamaica don't do these things. So a farmer will spend $100 to produce a crop, and when he sells the crop, he make only $50, right? So he really can take care of family through agriculture. See, so what that does now, it make the farmer in Jamaica can't drive a Benz, and because he can't drive a Benz, so people look down on the farmers in Jamaica. But the farmers are doing the most vital work.
All right, let me ask you a question. Let me stop you for a minute, because the term plastic rice, and with plastic in front of the rice, I just want to know, is it actual plastic that they're taking and making the rice?
Well, according to my information, yes, it is plastic. According to my information, because I've seen videos where people cook the rice and it melting, it providing a porridge looking substance, right? And also, if you look at the Chinese guys who's on the video, who is doing the who's on the video with the mill, and the material that them is using is plastic. It's coming from a bag of plastics, right? And they put it in the mill, and it mill and when it mill now, it mill the grains similar to what the rice would look like. And when the chef take it now and cook it now, the thing become plastic in the pot and start to melt. So that's what I see with my eyes and video. And even though I know that video can be altered and used to tell lies, but you know, we see it.
Okay, now, is it certain brands or certain products that, like, once again, it's a problem that was very prevalent in Jamaica. I have not seen, or they have not made it aware to us in the United States at least yet. So I don't know if it's on the market in the United States, but in Jamaica, it's definitely in the market. Is it certain products that you would warn the listeners to stay away from, or certain warning signs for the listeners to look for with these products?
What I would want, yes, and I give them for the opportunity to say this, you know. I would advise the listeners to try to be selective in your food, more selective, meaning that you try to consume the food that are natural, organic. When you go to the supermarket, go to the organic section, the non-GMO section, right? You know, try to consume food that is natural and organic. And the next thing that I am advising people to do is start to practice the saving of natural heirloom seeds. Start to practice the saving and exchanging of seeds. You know, that is what I would want to leave with the people. You know, because we need to start to practice seeds exchange so we can keep heirloom seeds in circulation. See?
All right. We're about to go to the commercial break, but before we touch on that, one last thing off of the Food War Project. The last record that we played was Planting. Give us a little bit more background behind that song, being that that's one of the songs on the project that's an actual food. Give us a little bit more.
Alright, yeah, that poem, The Planting from the Food War album, I would say is the current poem that we're promoting at the moment. And you know, it's a thing we normally say when I'm performing this poem, that it is for the woman and we want the man them just observe the words. So that's a vibration, just let it play, and it's livicated to the women, and this is like Ras Takura taking the ladies on the farm. See? So that is what the planting is saying. You see me I say? Ras Takura taking the ladies on the farm.
Once again, Ras Takura, PowerReggae.com. What we're going to do is I'm going to ask Johnny to play that record one more time before we tune out. Anything you want to say to the listeners before we tune out? It was a pleasure once again, Ras Takura.
Yeah man, I want to give thanks again. Give thanks Brooklyn, New York. Give thanks Father Jeremy, Power of Reggae. We give thanks for the opportunity if you can come and sit down here and speak to the people. Saying, you know, this is Ras Takura, straight out of Jamaica. You see me I say, Johnny the people them with righteousness. Him never leave the people in them own darkness. King Selassie I lead by example. For this one is for all Rasta imple who burn the chalice until the country get purple. China ya bingy with the drum them in a circle. Ital liberty, no negativity. Forward movement with positivity. All for one and one for all. We hear King Selassie and Babylon fall. No care if them tall like Donald Trump wall. The power of the million is greater than them all. So make we unite as a nation, to gather more strength as individual. The Rastafari Messiah fulfill my desire. When I hear him Jah, it lift my spirit higher. Only King Selassie I, the Rastaman follow. Marcus Garvey the prophet, give I and I the ladder. When him tell the black man to look to Ethiopia. So, never diss the Rastaman, because I see him walk through fire. Him now wearing no shoes, now no rubber tire. Him hail King Selassie and Jah answer in prayer. Bless him with an empress and a holy by desire. Rise him out of poverty and build him an empire like a legal ganja tree. The blessings just a shower, and every step I and I make, I'm in the aura of that power. Power of reggae. Ras Takura, Royal African soldiers, the life Selassie.
Rastafari.
Yes, sir.